Okay, here we go. This is take two. You some of you may follow me on Twitter. You may remember me promising a video about a week ago, maybe at this point, of me trying to convert a WordPress website into an EmDash website. Side note, uh, it's EmDash, not EmDash, I've discovered. I discovered this while watching the WP Product Talk episode today, which had Matt and Matt from EmDash. So if you're wondering how to pronounce it, I've been saying it wrong. I've been saying EmDash this whole time. Apparently it's EmDash. So, anywho, long story short, I was doing it. I was converting a website. It was going fairly well. Had some things to figure out. But then my AI bot just I don't know, just took a crap on itself. It was just like, I'm done working. I think I figured out why. I'm not really sure. I should say, I think I figured out how to mitigate this issue. I'm not sure why it became an issue all of a sudden, but I think I've fixed it basically. So we're going to try this again. We're going to start over. Probably for the best. There were some things I had to figure out, and so now that I know those things, this will go probably a little smoother. However, at the same time, I kind of wanted like a raw, first time take on the process. So, but whatever, as long as you guys learn something, that's the point, right? We're just trying to learn. So hopefully you learned something from this video. We are going to take one of my client websites, a real website. It's built on WordPress, and we're going to turn it into an EmDash website. And that we're not going to make it live. It's going to stay on WordPress. This is just for funsies. I'm not actually converting their website to EmDash. We're just going to be doing this locally for fun. Also, I'm testing a new camera setup. Instead of just using my camera directly as my recording source, I'm using NVIDIA Broadcast as my source, because I'm tired of every time I open OBS, I have to reconfigure my camera to zoom in and tilt down a little bit. I'm just tired of that. OBS doesn't save those settings for whatever reason. So I'm going to let NVIDIA Broadcast try it. So it does this weird thing where it follows me. And that's kind of a problem because I shift around a lot. So, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I'm also not 100% sure if it's recording in 4K. So that'll be something else that, we'll see. I'll watch this later on my 4K TV and see if it looks like trash. Anyways, let's take a look at what we're working with here. So this is a website that I did not originally build or design. It was built on, I want to say, Divi. And then this was a client of mine a long time ago. And then she reached out a few months ago and asked if I would be willing to host her website again. And I said, of course. And so I am. I'm hosting her website now. And then I rebuilt it in Etch. So it looks the same as it did before, but instead of being a Divi site now, it's an Etch website. About to become an EmDash website. So I will just tell you kind of what I struggled with before. First of all, getting a website set up, easy. Importing the data from WordPress also wasn't that difficult. The difficult part was figuring out how, because there isn't a lot of documentation about it, but I did figure it out, and it's pretty slick. And then the real hard part is trying to recreate this front end with AI, like just telling it what to do, which is the idea. I'm trying to do as much of this with AI as possible because EmDash is supposed to be an AI first, agentic CMS or whatever. And so I want to see if my AI bot can basically do everything without me having to go in and, rebuild this whole thing. As much fun as this was building an Etch, we're going to try to let AI do all of it. So here's my AI. His name is Carl. As you can see here, he is a Copilot / Claude Sonnet 4.6. I'm not using Opus because it's expensive, and I still don't even know how much I'm paying for this Copilot stuff. Their billing is not clear at all. Probably going to get like a $10,000 bill one of these days out of nowhere. But I think Opus burns through tokens like 3 times as fast or something. So I don't know. I'm not there yet. Still using Sonnet, but it's been working out pretty well for me, I think. So we are starting from scratch. Now, what I need to do, let's see. I need to Google EmDashCMS. I forget what the command is to actually fire this up. It's in this blog post at the very end. If anybody from EmDash is watching this, can I just say that it's super annoying that you guys don't have a landing page? Can you guys give us a landing page, please? If you don't know, if you go to their website, it just automatically spins up a playground, which is kind of annoying. I don't want that, you know? Give me a landing page, put a button I can click on to fire up a playground if I want to, but bro, give me a landing page. Right now, their blog post is like acting as their landing page. All right, so we're going to run this command to fire up a blank EmDash website. And we're going to use Whisperflow because if I don't, Mark will get mad at me and we don't want to make Mark mad. Hey, Carl, we're going to switch gears a little bit. We're going to build a website using a new platform called EmDash. Let's see how Whisperflow spells that. Hey, all right. It's just a Node.js app, so it shouldn't be that much of a problem, really. It's also an Astro plugin, so I know you can build stuff with Astro. You've done it before. Just so you know, the overall goal of this project is to let you do as much of the work as possible. And also, I'm going to say this because I've done stuff with you before, and this issue came up. Whenever you're building with EmDash, I want you to always be utilizing all of EmDashCMS features as possible. What I mean is, if I tell you to build a landing page, don't just build a static HTML Astro page. I want it to actually be integrated with the EmDashCMS so that the content of that page exists in the EmDashCMS dashboard and can be edited or whatever, modified the way EmDashCMS intends. I'm telling it that because I've built stuff with it before, and it literally just will build out like a static HTML page that's not connected to the CMS at all if you don't tell it to connect to the CMS. So obviously that's not what we want. We're not trying to use EmDash to build static HTML pages. I would just, we can do that without a CMS. So just want to make sure he actually connects what he's doing to the CMS. What else do I need to tell it? We're just going to be doing this locally. And there's an npx command I'm going to give you that you can use to spin up a new site. And then it's going to ask you some questions. When it asks you those questions, it's going to ask if you want to run it as like a Cloudflare app or a Node.js app. I want you to choose the Cloudflare option. It's going to ask you what kind of website. I think we should just go with starter. I think the options are like blog, starter. I don't even know what else. There's like 4 options, but go ahead and choose starter when it asks. I don't remember what the other questions are that it's going to ask you, so maybe just ask me and I'll tell you which option I want you to pick. All right. So that's how you fire up a new instance. Also, there was one other thing I wanted to say. Oh, you'll notice after you run that command that part of the project files are like 2 or 3 skill files. And those are for you specifically so that you know how EmDash works. I don't know exactly what's included in those skills, but obviously I need you to review those skills. And then what I want you to do is I want you to create your own skill called EmDash. I want that skill to reference these skills that come with the project, but then also we're going to save stuff to this skill that we learned throughout this process, and things that we just want to make sure that you remember. Okay. I think this is enough. Do you have any questions for me before we get started? Let's see how this goes. Hopefully better than last time. My throat hurts. Okay, I'm hyped. Yeah, project name. Good call. All right. Oh, yes. Also, I should have informed you that what we're going to be doing is actually converting a WordPress website into an EmDash website. EmDash has a plugin that exposes some API endpoints on the WordPress website that we can use to import data, which we'll get to, in a bit. The site is called FinPrep. What else did he ask? Where to create it? Yeah, you can go ahead and put it in Workspace. What is the site? You mentioned building a website was actually, yeah. You can create it in the Workspace folder. Just create a folder in there called FinPrep, I guess. You notice WhisperFlow just told me that it added FinPrep to my dictionary, but then it still didn't spell it right. I think the npx command creates a folder, so probably just run the command in the Workspace folder, and it should create a folder based on the project name, which is FinPrep. Let's go, Carl. Should have brought another beer down. This is going to be a process, I can tell you what. Nice citrusy summer beer. Not summer yet, not even close. But it was a nice day today, so, I'm feeling those summer vibes. First question, project name. Yep, there you go. Second question, I think, is the Cloudflare versus Node.js thing, which either one would work, honestly. But when I built a site on day one, I converted my own site to EmDash because I'm just weird. I ran into issues making it live. Even though I'm not hosting on Cloudflare, I had to choose the Cloudflare option just to get it to work. I don't remember what the deal was. There was some issue, but seems like it's waiting for me to hit enter or something. Yeah, it ran into this before. It struggles with the terminal interface. Once it's set up, it doesn't struggle as much. Yeah, wherever you would deploy, you said Cloudflare, selecting that now. Yep. Good. Now it's going to ask what type of website. You should choose starter. Which template? Yep. Blog starter, marketing, and portfolio. I don't know what the differences are. Eventually they'll probably add e-commerce as an option. I don't remember what other questions that it asks. That might even be it, for all I know. Maybe there aren't anymore. Here we go. It selected blog instead of starter. I went one down from blog, which landed on starter, but it looks like it registered blog. That could be a bug. Also, there's a new question. Which package manager? NPM is already highlighted. Yep. Choose NPM. Blog is fine. Choose NPM. I think this happened last time, but he didn't call it out. Because I swear it was set up as blog, and I remember thinking, but I thought I chose starter. So I think that might be a little bug in there. I don't know. I probably should have just done this myself, to be honest. It's really not that hard. Yes, install those dependencies. You know what? While it's doing that, let's just do it. I'll show you what it looks like. So, what was that command? Here we go. All right. In case you want to do this manually and not let your AI bot do it. Site name, test site. Test site. This is what I was talking about. Where will you deploy? We're going to pretend that we're eventually going to deploy to Cloudflare, even though we're not. Starter, this is what, he was talking about, and then which package manager will use npm, install dependencies. Yes, that's it. That's the whole, this is how you set up an EmDash website. Get that out of the way. We don't need that anymore. How's Carl doing? Still installing dependencies. Yeah, that can take some time. Might end up editing this wait time out if it takes too much longer. All right, done. It created the project at my site. That's what you called it? It used the default name, not FimPrep. Looks like the project name prompt defaulted. So I feel like he just wasn't able to actually select anything. That's weird and annoying. All right, he found the skill files. Yep, same content in both. He's creating his own skill. It's good, just like I told him to. Oh, I should have just waited literally like five more seconds. Project scaffolded, renamed. Okay, he renamed it for me. Thank you. He read both the skills. He created his own skill. A few things he noticed. Cloudflare Workers is the deploy target, which means the database is D1, not SQLite locally. There may be a dev setup step for that. The scaffold created my site as a folder name despite me typing FinPrep. The PTY input timing is off. Not a big deal since I renamed it, but worth noting. Ready to spin up the dev server and see what we're working with, or do you want to tackle the WordPress import? All right. Go ahead and spin up the dev server. I want to view this website and see what a fresh new EmDash website looks like. My camera is not, come on, bro. There we go. Now it's centered. I don't know about this NVIDIA broadcast thing, man. Hopefully Mark watches this. Every time Mark watches one of my videos, he messages me. He's like, hey, I noticed another way that you suck. He doesn't say it that way, but, and then he offers me advice and helps me improve my setup or my workflow. Server is up. Let's go. Is it up, Carl? No display available in this environment. Let me grab a screenshot. Server is running and healthy. It initialized SQLite database, applied 32 migrations, whatever that means. Hey, we got a website. And let's see, what was it? _m-/admin. And this will, I think, put me through like a first time setup. Okay, site title. Here we go. FinPrep. Tagline. ACT test prep and tutoring. Let's not include any sample content. Template, blog starter. That's okay. That might be kind of part of the problem. Maybe that there's only one template and it's blog and starter, but in the setup process, it's acting like that's two different templates. I should probably be taking notes and bring this stuff to their attention in the Discord. My email, james@nunyabusiness.com. That's my email and I'm sticking to it. Set up a passkey. That's right. We have to set up a passkey. Oh, look, there's my email address. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. Now, I don't think this works right away. I think you have to do some setup. If I click this, yeah, oops, it just gives me that. Now, I did get this working the first time before I just nuked the whole project because my AI bot stopped working entirely. So it's not that difficult, but you do basically have to go into your Google Cloud Console and like enable stuff. It's not that hard. I've done it several times at this point for several different projects. But anyways, so for now, we'll just go ahead and sign in with my passkey. And we're in. Welcome, get started. My role is administrator. Okay, good. Cool. So this is the dashboard. Now, I literally just watched, sorry, I just got a funny text from my wife and child. They're having a fun conversation. I watched the podcast episode on WP Product Talk with Matt Cromwell and some guy I don't know. I thought it was Matt and Katie, but I feel like every time I watch that, it's a different set of hosts. So I think maybe they have like a rotating host thing, but is Matt Cromwell some guy, and then the two guys behind EmDash, Matt and Matt. So there's 4 people in this podcast. 3 of them were Matt. 2 of them were part of the EmDash project, and they brought up the fact that this looks like WordPress, and they said, yes, that was intentional. They're not trying to like literally just fork or copy WordPress, but they were definitely thinking about WordPress when they created this. So, which I appreciate, because let's be honest, what is everybody always talking about? Oh, WordPress powers 46% of the internet. Okay, if that's true, which I have doubts, but if that's true, then I appreciate that this platform looks like that because I'm familiar. And many other people will be familiar. So kind of makes sense. I mean, there's no sense in just redoing stuff just for the sake of redoing it. There are times to redo things and there are times to, just use what works. So I don't know. That's my opinion. Also, this is supposed to be something that, you're using AI to build the website, right? So who really cares what this looks like? I'm not going to hardly look at it. As long as the client can log in and add a blog post or whatever they're supposed to do, who cares? It's just such a silly thing to focus on. I've seen so many people criticizing EmDash because, it looks like WordPress from 2015. Like, that's a weird specific year for a bunch of people to pick out. It's like someone is handing out a script or something. Hey, when you criticize EmDash, make sure to compare it to WordPress 2015. Like, that's just weird. But anyways, I digress. Here it is. This is the EmDash dashboard. Yes, it does look quite a bit like WordPress, but it is organized, I think, better. We have content section up here. We have manage, and we can even collapse these things. So that's kind of cool. We have admin stuff, and then we have plugins. So what do we got here? I mean, let's just take a quick gander. Even though we're going to not really try to use this stuff, we're going to try to make AI do everything. While we're here, let's take a quick gander at this dashboard. So content, we have pages and posts and media. Under manage, we have comments, menus, redirects, widgets, sections. Don't know what that is. Reusable content blocks you can insert into any content. Okay. Looks like we have an about the author section and a newsletter sign up section. We can edit these. So is this like almost like a field group, like a custom field group or something? Is it supposed to be like a component? I don't know. Categories, tags, bylines, content types. I'm assuming, this is like custom post types in WordPress. We can create new content types. And we got users, plugins, marketplace, themes, imports. So plugins, we have one installed by default called EmDash Forms. And then there's a section for plugin settings. I think I like that. This is all very organized. My guess is that this stuff all will mostly stay the same, if not just completely the same. And then when plugins want to add stuff to the menu, it has to be down here in the plugin section. That would be very nice, honestly. I like this. Okay, cool. Let's get to it. So where are we? I'll be honest, you might not have noticed, but I left. I left and I got dinner and I picked up kids from church and I came back. I think we're basically just ready to start building. Probably should go ahead and import content first. And so EmDash doesn't have a landing page, which I have mentioned before is annoying. So I don't even remember how I found this, but last time I tried to do this video, I found that EmDash has a plugin called something like WordPress Export. And you can just download it from GitHub. In fact, let me see if I can find it. /EmDashCMS /WordPress. Let me just go there. Let's just go here and see what we got. Templates. WP EmDash. This is probably it. Yeah. So you can download this plugin. You install this on the WordPress website, which I've done. If we go here and go look at our plugins, you will see probably too many plugins. Again, I did not build this website. I just rebuilt it. It's in here somewhere. EmDashExporter. All this does apparently is like expose some API endpoints for, I don't know. I don't know what, honestly, if this is even really required, but I'm using it because they recommend that you use it. So I'm going to, I don't know what all is in those skills. And so I'm going to copy this GitHub repo. See if it even remembers what I'm talking about since I left. 5:41 and now it's 8:40. It's been a minute. He's trying to log into GitHub or something. All right. Command timed out. Yeah. Let me grab the context. Content. Okay. Yes. The URL is finprep.com. I have installed the exporter plugin. So between that and your EmDash skills, you should hopefully know what you're doing. Obviously, I need you to export all of the content out of FinPrep and import it into our EmDash website. Make sure that it's all imported into the proper place. For some reason, last time you had a little bit of an issue with this, and it took 2 prompts to get it figured out. But all the posts should be posts, of course. All the pages should be pages. I think there's some custom post types in this website, so you'll need to use the EmDash content type feature to create the content types. I think for testimonials is one of the custom post types, and when you import the media, make sure the media shows up in the media section of the EmDash dashboard. We're not building out any pages or anything yet. We're just importing all of the content from the FinPrep website. I hate when I do that. I hadn't clicked in there. What did I say? Make sure all of the media that you import is imported into the media area of the EmDash dashboard. We're not building anything yet. We're just importing all the content from FinPrep into our EmDash website. Yes, you go ahead and probe that site. Oh, that's right. We have to do that whole thing. That's right. All right. Off camera, I'm going to just create a app password real quick. So if you're not familiar with this, you can go into WordPress user settings and create an application password. I actually already created one for them last time I did this, but it's all been erased by now. So, all right, copy that, Carl. All right, now I'm not going to bring Carl back onto the screen yet until my application password has moved off out of the chat, because I don't know how to blur stuff in DaVinci Resolve yet. I should probably learn that, but I don't want to. Okay, he said that the auth worked, and now he's pulling all the content data he needs. He's fetching taxonomies and then all content types in parallel. I keep having to pause this video and delete stuff because it's telling me that I don't have enough disk space. Clean up this disk. All data fetched, it says now. I have a clear picture of everything. Let me check the current EmDash dev server is still running. It is. All right, now it says update seed.json to add the testimonials and videos collections. Reseed EmDash to apply the schema, run the import script. So this is all running pretty smoothly so far. Again, it's all AI doing it. I did have to install that export plugin on the other website, but I didn't have to download an export file and then come back here and import it. I'm just literally told the AI to go do it. I had to give it a username and password, of course, so it can access the site, but now he's doing everything for me. Now validate the seed, whatever that means. Now what's he saying? Okay. Yep, he's still working on the custom post types and the taxonomies for those post types. Meanwhile, I'm just deleting everything on my hard drive. All right, now he says all 4 collections are set up. He says collections sometimes. I think that's like an Astro term because it's not an EmDash term that I can tell. It's my app password is almost off screen, so I can bring Carl back very soon. Okay, now he's adding taxonomies for those custom post types. Taxonomies from the original seed. Design development notes are still there. The seed applied but didn't replace them. They'll coexist. The FinPrep categories are there too since seed added them. Okay, so what he's doing is he's setting up, because just like in WordPress, you have to create a custom post type before you can import a bunch of posts of that type, right? I think that's what he's doing. He set up the content types, which you can see in the dashboard. We have testimonials here and videos. Those were 2 post types from FinPrep. I did a little compact earlier, compacted the context of this down from 182 kilobytes, I guess, down to 19,000. It happens, the context gets too large and then it starts to get slow. So I did that, compacted it, told him to continue, and he did it. Did a bunch of stuff here. I don't really want to read it, but I'll put it on the screen here in case you guys want to pause and read everything. Looks like he found an issue and fixed it. But wait, he says that a lot. The real root cause was and now he says import is complete. Skipped a few media things for some reason, don't know why. Imported 9 posts, 28 pages, 6 testimonials, 13 videos. And sure enough, if I come here, pages, posts, testimonials, videos, and media. Look at that. So overall, not a very painful process. A little bit of waiting for Carl to figure some stuff out, but you'll notice he figured it all out. It was he basically one-shotted everything, right? I didn't have to have any back and forth with him about, oh, it didn't work right, do it better, whatever. He just did it. So step 1 is done, importing all the content from the old site to the new site. Now, obviously, there's nothing there. I guess there's some blog posts because that's the default setting, is it shows blog posts. I am a little curious as to why. Let's see here. So edit mode isn't working. Edit mode is on. So, well, maybe you can't because it's a blog post. You wouldn't be able to edit that. Let's see here. Let's just pick a page and go view it. Okay, edit mode is working. I can edit the page title, click on it, and it takes me to the admin dashboard where there's a shortcode. So some of this will be a problem. This whole thing is a booking plugin. And so if I was to build the site for real, I would have to figure that out, which wouldn't be that big of a problem. I imagine it'd be very easy to build a booking app, whatever feature with AI. But so I just wanted to make sure that the edit functionality was actually working. So where's Carl? Where did Carl go? Come back. Okay, so that seemed to work out pretty well. All the pages, posts, media, all that stuff is there. I noticed that the home page is just a blog, just blog posts, similar to WordPress. That's how WordPress is by default. The main page is just blog posts. In WordPress, you go into settings and you change it. You change the home page to be a specific page. I don't see that setting in EmDash, so I'm not really sure what to do here. I know when I did this last time, you just did this for me. I am curious if you can maybe tell me, if you know enough about EmDash, how would I make a page the home page instead of displaying blog posts as the home page? Do you know that? Be very surprised if he knows the answer to this question. I looked for this before and I didn't find it. Settings, site title, reading, post per page, social links, SEO, security, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't see an option Let's see, manage, comments, widgets, sections, categories. No. What if, can you click on a page and like set it as the home page? Nope. Let's see what Carl says. Doesn't have a native static from page setting like WordPress. The home page is determined entirely by the Astro. Okay, so it's all front end stuff basically. So we control it in the code. Okay, so let me think about this. Okay, so here's what we need to do. Okay, we need to, first of all, you're going to have to try to rebuild the whole front end for this website, basically based on whatever you can scrape yourself from the existing website, and I'll probably share screenshots. And then, of course, the content should come from the content you've already imported for each page, right? So I don't know how Astro works. I only know how WordPress works, but we need pages. We need pages that look exactly like they do on the current WordPress website. These pages need to be, they need to exist inside the EmDashCMS so that I or anyone I give access to could edit those pages easily in the dashboard, even though in reality, I would likely just make you do all the edits. I still want a human to be able to log in and edit these pages. And of course, the homepage needs to be an actual page, which should be one of the pages you imported from FimPrep. There should be a page called Home, and that page should have a bunch of content on it. Some of that content may be WordPress shortcodes, which is fine. We can address that later, but most of the content should just be words and images. Based on all that, how do you recommend I proceed? Yeah, the structure is not going to survive. I understand that. You share screenshots, yeah, build it. Okay. Hybrid, yeah. So basically exactly what I described. Okay. First I'm going to do a little, because he's getting kind of slow. I'm going to just basically reset this whole session. This is the issue I ran into before, and this is my solution basically is sometimes compacting the context helps. If that doesn't help, sometimes you just have to reset the whole session. And then he's good as new for a while. So that's what I'm doing here. I don't know. Okay. So, all right, we are not working on Parchment anymore. So because I reset the session, he basically doesn't know what we're doing, which is fine. We are currently working on building a website in something called EmDash. You should have a skill for it. To refresh your memory, the project lives in a folder called FinPrep. We are basically rebuilding a WordPress website using EmDash. You already imported all the data from FinPrep into our new website. So we're about to begin actually building out pages. And we're going to do this by me just sharing screenshots of what the page should look like. And then you will build it out in Astro, but also make sure that it's connected to the EmDashCMS. You are welcome to use web fetch or whatever to pull any HTML or CSS from the live site, which is finprep.com. But also I will share a screenshot so you know what it should look like. And most of the content should already exist in the page within EmDash. We are just going to now work on the front end. So he's going to basically refresh his memory. The good thing about this is he doesn't really need all the context up until now. He just needs to know, hey, what are we doing and what are we about to do? He doesn't really need to know everything we've done already. So all that context that was slowing him down, just get rid of it. All right, I'm actually going to go grab my first screenshot. Where's the website? FinPrep, where did you go? Here's a cool feature of Chrome. I'm going to inspect. No, I don't want the header and I don't want the footer. I want everything in between. So I'm just going to right click on main and click capture node screenshot. This captures a screenshot of whatever element you just selected. So check this out. Boom. It's a whole screenshot of the homepage. I saw that in a YouTube video and it was like, life-changing. Now, Carl, where did you go? There you are. Carl, you're still thinking? Come on. Okay, he's oriented, got the full picture, project lives. Yep, he found the project. Current site is blah, blah, blah. Let's do it. Drop the first screenshot and I'll get to work. Okay. Of the entire homepage without the header or footer. We will worry about those later. Let me know when you have analyzed this screenshot, and then I'll tell you what specifically we're going to work on. Because I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go section by section, because some of those sections are going to be components, like they're going to be reused. And maybe not even on this page. I don't know. Let me look at it again. I mean, this will be a component that'll have a different image and different text on each page. So that's worth noting. This, I believe, is a component that doesn't change it at all. And then this is a component that doesn't change at all, but these exist on other pages. So I'm going to have him create those. That's new. Need to fix that. Yeah, so I think that's what I'm going to do. But yeah, and we'll start with this. It's the first section and it's a component, so this will be fun. So I'm going to inspect this and I'm just going to grab this section, grab a node screenshot of that, and go back to Carl. All right. Okay, so this section is going to be a component. It's going to be reused on almost every page, I think, but each page will have a different image and different text. So you'll need to create a component that you can just drop in on each page and then easily swap out the image and the text in each one. Now, is this even necessary? This is old me thinking. This is old me going, boy, if I have to come in here and manage this website, it sure would be nice if this was a reusable component. But does the AI care? Is it actually easier for the AI to manage a site that's built properly? I don't think it is. I think it's just as easy for the robot to go in and make a change on 37 different instances of the same thing, which would drive you and me crazy having to do that, versus updating it once in a component that's being reused. I don't think there's really, maybe it doesn't matter, but I'm still in, try to build it properly mode. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use AI, but I'm still going to kind of try to build it properly. So where was I? You can just drop in. Okay. Upload file. Now, I don't understand how that would work in Astro or EmDash as far as being something that a human could utilize inside the dashboard. For instance, if I go into the EmDash dashboard and I click on create new page, how would I drop this component onto that page? And then how would I swap out the text and the image? My guess is that that's just not the kind of thing you would do in the CMS dashboard, that would actually be more of an Astro front end thing that would require coding. Am I right about that? The thing about this is you can also learn while you're doing it. I could have just told them, here's the next section, build it, make it a component, whatever. But it's like, hey, well, while I have your attention, you might as well explain to me how this works, because I'm curious. I wouldn't mind learning a little bit more about how Astro works, even if I have AI now and AI can do everything and I'm really just doing this for content. And if I was building this for myself or a client, I would just be kind of zooming through it without really trying to learn a whole lot. But also I'm just curious. I like to learn stuff. It doesn't hurt to know stuff. It can only hurt to not know stuff, I think. I'm exactly right. Yeah. The honest answer, where'd it go? about EmDash, this component, EmDash is built for content, blog posts, but a hero banner. Okay. So basically what we need to do is create what I'm going to call a custom field, because that's what we would call it in WordPress. I don't know what we would call it in EmDash, but I'm going to call it a custom field for each page that would be something like, I don't know, hero section header, hero section subheader, and hero section image. And then the Astro component could pull from that data. Does that sound about right? You probably set all that up here and I just didn't feel like reading it with props. Yep, exactly right. And that's equivalent because it's, ooh, I finally hit my limit with Whisper Flow. Shucks, I have to type now. Okay. Wow. Okay. He nailed it. He nailed it. I would say maybe the text could be centered better vertically. Yeah. But he even imported the fonts. These are like custom fonts. They're not just Google fonts, of course, because whoever built the site originally hates me. Yo, what did he do? Added the hero heading, hero subheading, hero image fields to the pages collection. Ooh, let's look at that. Is this my admin page? Yeah. Okay. Oh, there it is. Yeah, let's go to pages. Let's edit home. Let's see what we got. Hero heading, hero subheading, and image. Okay. Now, I have questions for old Carl. And actually, let's bring Carl back into this window. Tired of switching around. Welcome back, Carl. Oh, I can't talk to him anymore. I'm gonna have to upgrade. I'm gonna have to use Mark's affiliate code and upgrade. I'm gonna talk on my phone because this is just Discord. So I'm just gonna pull up Discord on my phone. Okay, I have questions. First of all, I see the custom fields, so nice work on that. But I noticed that they are blank on the home page, and so I don't think the home page that I am seeing when I view the front end of this website is actually the page called home. I think it's still just that sort of default blogs layout. I'm right on both accounts. Page is hard-coded. There are two ways to handle the home page. Keep it hard-coded. No. Wired to the home page. Entry in EmDash. No, you may remember. Actually, you may not remember because I ended up resetting our session. But originally, when I told you to build this website, I told you that I want everything to always be wired up to the CMS. So yes, I would like you to wire up this home page to the page called home in the CMS. That was the whole point of creating those custom fields so that we could control the content in that component. Why does it keep capitalizing the word fields? I just love that he nailed this. I'm going to tell him it's later to center this text more vertically. But he went and he grabbed the correct image, got the text, downloaded the fonts even, imported the fonts, got all that set up. Unfortunately, he just hard-coded it, into this. So now he's just going to actually wire it up to the CMS. How's he doing? It's now fully, oh, okay. Really? Just like that? Let's see. Okay, so I don't believe you. I don't believe you, Carl. Once you fill those fields in, those are fallback. Heading, subheading. Save. Publish. Okay. Cool. So it is working. He just hard-coded. Okay. That seems to be working. Let's make the default fallback text just say heading and subheading. Pretty cool, man. We can use that image as the default image. I don't care. That's cool. Let's grab the next section, man. Let's just move right along. The form should be easy for him to build out. He did it. He nailed that too. The last time I did this, we're going about it a little bit differently this time. Last time I tried to give him the screenshot of the whole page and said, go to town. This time I'm going section by section. But he pretty much nailed that form the last time, so hopefully he can nail it again. Okay. See. Time to build the next section. Okay. Get it, Carl, get it. Next section, man. This is good news that he can build stuff off of screenshots, because ideally we could do this with a Figma file. We could start by kind of giving him the wireframe, or, you know, say, hey, here's the layout, or I don't know what I'm trying to say. Here's all the pages we're going to have. Here's the custom post types we're going to have, whatever. And then just start handing them Figma files and be like, all right, build this section, build that section. It feels kind of tedious sharing a screenshot and then sitting around waiting, but it's still faster than coding it all yourself. And you could do other stuff while he's doing what he's doing. He's building out this section. If I wasn't making a video or whatever, I could just go and do something else. I could be playing video games, bro, which I have done a lot. I could give him a prompt, say, go build this section, hop on over to this other monitor, play a little Arc Raiders. Oh, he's done with this section. Hop on over. Okay, build the next section, and just back and forth. Or I could be doing other work. I could leave. Just, hey, build this section, and then I could go leave, eat lunch, come back. Oh, good. He's done with that section. Let's move on to the next one. Like, it's just kind of a game changer, man, when you don't have to do all the work yourself. Especially, I think we just have a memory issue. He's normally not this slow. Like, I spend most of my day building stuff with Carl, and I think it's because I'm recording. OBS takes up a good amount of memory, and recording this 4K video takes up quite a bit of, computer resources. And I think that slows Carl down. I've kicked around the idea of buying like a separate machine just for Carl. I think a lot of people are doing that with like Mac Minis or something. I wouldn't buy a Mac, but what you can see, left column, right column, body content already lives. All right, he's going to add a few extra fields for the about section, and the form is static HTML. Yeah, I would say that's fine. I don't know. It's a form. The advantage of building this in WordPress and using a plugin is technically anybody could log in and, modify the form with a user interface, add fields, remove fields, whatever. But how often are you really doing that? 99.9% of the time, are you not just adding the form and then never touching it ever again? Like, I built, this website is built with EmDash. Carl built this website literally the day it launched, April 1st. EmDash launched, and Carl and I went to work. And it's all wired up to the CMS. You can see that blue border. That means if I click on this, it'll take me to the dashboard and I can edit it. And we have contact form. If I need to change this contact form, I would go to Carl and say, hey, I want to work on Cedar Rapids web design for a minute. I would say, freshen up on the skill. So he would go read the skill that we have for this project. And I would say, I need to add a field to the contact form. Here's the field that I want to add. And he would just do it. So, one would argue, oh, that's not a very good experience for your client. Yeah, it's not. But why is my client, this is my website. It's not a client's, but why would my client be logging into the website to add an input field to their form? Is that not my job? Is that not what they're paying me a monthly retainer for, to do little things like that? I don't know. So I guess, yes, if you want to build a website and then let your client manage the whole thing after that, EmDash or any AI related solution might not be for you. You probably still want to build the whole thing in WordPress, do it properly. use custom post types, custom fields, all that fun stuff. Use a good form plugin. I use Formidable Forms. I know there's other ones out there, WS Forms, whatever, and do all that so that your client can log in and do all the work. But if you are planning on being the one managing the website, you might actually be interested in a solution like this. I'm even not there yet. If a client called me and said, "Hey, I want you to build me a website," I'd probably I'd probably still build it in WordPress at this point. I don't know if I'm quite ready to start building client websites with AI. I think I would probably still build it with WordPress, but I'm getting close, and EmDash is probably going to help me get there faster, honestly. They have some work to do to EmDash to make it, really ready, but they're working on it. They're actively working on it. So see if Carl's done. Have I rambled enough? He's not done yet. He's fixing stuff. What has he done? The body content lives, blah, blah, blah. All fields are added. Now let me check what's on the homepage content. The imported content field only has, short codes, so you're going to have to build that yourself. The about video URL field will hold an embed URL. Now add the about section HTML. Okay. Let's just go creep on it, see if he's actually, yeah, look at that. We got all these fields in there for the content. He hasn't filled it out yet, but doesn't look like he's worked on the front end yet. He's done only back end stuff so far. And he may be stuck. I'm not sure. Usually if he's still thinking, it says Carl is typing, but I've discovered recently that a lot of times I think he's like stuck or frozen because it doesn't say Carl is typing anymore. But I'll just walk away and come back, and then he will have done a bunch of stuff. So like he probably is still working right now. So I'm going to let him work. I might just pause the video in case this takes a while. Once again, I think I'm fairly impressed with what just happened. I did pause the video while it thought, even restarted him. It's done. It didn't tell me everything it did in Discord. Sometimes it doesn't do that. Sometimes it tells me in the dashboard chat instead. So you can see it was doing a bunch of stuff. It made some decisions here about what to do, and then kind of summarized what it did down here. So basically it's waiting for me to go in and add some content, which, I could do if I was, if this was 2025 and humans still did stuff. But I don't want to do stuff. So I'm going to test it about subheading and save and publish. And yeah, about subheading. So it seems to be working. Cool. So now, okay, Carl, that all seems to be working. Nice work. But it's 2026 and humans don't do stuff. So I need you to go in there and fill in all those new custom fields with the data from the original website. Honestly, I shouldn't have even said that. Well, I don't know. It should have the content because it imported all the content. But since I'm having it kind of rewrite the homepage to be all wired into the CMS, it may have deleted that content. Let's go look. Yeah, this is the homepage. So the only content that's in there right now is, this might be a lesson. If we're going to do all this, maybe I don't need to have it import everything. Maybe I just need it to look at the schema and create stuff and say, hey, look, we already have posts and pages. I need you to create a post type called testimonials or whatever. And then we need to set up all the custom fields that are going to be required, and then have him build the front end, and then have him import so that the problem is, this homepage, none of this data is custom field data. It's just text. It's just paragraphs and H2s and whatnot. But in EmDash, it basically needs to be fields. if we want it to be, I don't know. In WordPress, these are blocks now because I built it with Etch. So Etch turns everything into blocks. So I built this with, HTML, CSS, and then it turned it into blocks so then the user, my client, if they needed to, which they won't, but they would be able to log in and then edit this content by clicking on the blocks, right? And so I guess it's basically what we have going on here. They would log in. Oh, look, looks like he's done. He's put in all this stuff. So he made this the content. However, that's going to be a problem because this is the home page, but this is just the content in the about section. So he's probably going to regret doing that later. In fact, yeah, that content's not even showing up. Is that the content? Let's see. Prepare your child. Summer is the best time. Prepare your child. No, this is different. This is different content. Where's this coming from? Preparing your child for college entrance exams. Oh, it is. We have already helped hundreds of teens. Okay, so it is this content minus this, but it's not showing up anywhere. Okay, this looks pretty good, except that content from the about section isn't showing up. I see that you added it to the content field in the homepage in the CMS, but that's probably not a good idea because that content is specifically for the about section of the homepage. So I think you probably need to just create a new text field called something like about content and use that. But again, can we just take a minute to be impressed? Now he needs to fix the background on this form. It's supposed to be this charcoal-ish thingy, but did he get that right? I keep clicking on the wrong thing. Okay, he needs to move that on top. He might be confused because, yeah, they're switched around. This is a subheading, but it's on top. So that might be why he's confused a little bit. Good point. Let me add dedicated field. Okay, yep. So he's doing what I said. There it is. Now he's going to probably move the content down there. Okay, he's done. He's said some stuff I don't understand, but looks like he's got the content in the right spot. And let's see if it's working. Is it responsive? I'm kind of leaning towards, oh, it is. I was kind of expecting it not to be. Wow. Okay. I mean, aside from him working really slow right now, probably because I'm recording, this is going well. Why does it say read article? That's not even a link on the homepage. There's a read article button. Interesting. Okay. Wow. All right, I'm back. It is now the next day. Had to go to bed. Was working kind of late last night, but here we are, fresh and ready to go. A whole new day. So last night we got 2 sections done, mostly. A little bit of tweaking needs to be done. We'll align this stuff better vertically. We need to flip these headings around so that the fancy cursive one is on top. This form background is wrong. So you can see it's supposed to be this sort of charcoal-y image. Little minor stuff. But we're going to just keep moving. We're not going to worry about tweaking and fixing things. We're going to get the bulk of the work done. So we're just going to move on to the next section. I already took a screenshot of the next section, I think. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Pretty basic prompt. Screenshot. Make sure it's wired up. And it's going to get its content from the live site. And the images should already be in media. Let's see, which images, is it these 3? And then there's like a, yeah, person writing, person sitting in front of their computer. Yeah, it's these 3 images, boom, boom, and boom. And then there's just an overlay over them. hopefully he can get all that figured out. I mean, he's done a pretty good job so far with the first 2 sections. So, okay, Carl is done. Nothing too mind-blowing going on here in the notes that he's given me. Looks like he created a services collection. Says he had everything he needs. He got the CSS and everything from the live site. Let's go look, man. Cross your fingers. Cross your fingers. Hey, that looks pretty darn good. Here's the live site. Here's his version. I could probably give him a little bit more direction as far as what our container looks like. Because he is not following a container. You can see here, these first 2 sections seem like they're maybe following the same container width, but then here we got this, which is kind of fine. Sometimes you make a section like this and you do shrink it a little bit. It doesn't necessarily stretch all the way to your container or whatever. But as far as just trying to do a one-to-one, copy, even the live site doesn't follow it perfectly, does it? Here's the first 2 sections, and this 3rd section is a little bit shrunk. So, interesting. Is all the text right? 10 prep will boost, blah, blah, blah. All the text is right. ACT prep student. Let's see, are they linking to the right place? ACT prep. Yep. Bro, it's all working. Cool. What does this do on mobile? I forget. Yeah, it just goes to 1 column. That makes sense. What are we doing here? Is this responsive? Yeah, look at that. Boom. Yo, I am impressed, you guys. I mean, this is we're doing it, We're doing it. Carl's doing the bulk of the work, and I bet Carl will be able to tweak the things that we need to tweak later. But also, if you just wanted to go in and tweak it yourself, it's just Astro. It's just HTML, CSS. Shouldn't be that difficult. Just go find the file and start editing. It just occurred to me, he's probably using Tailwind. Oh, maybe not. Okay. He's using BEM? My man. Look at you. Look at you. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. Shoot. Next section. Let's go. I think the next one might be a component. Nope. I don't believe this is a component. I think this is the only place on the website where this is being used. Can we do this in Firefox? I switched it to Firefox because everything was working slowly. And Chrome likes to gobble up memory. It was taking up about 4,200 megabytes, and Firefox is only using 1,900. Granted, I have a lot fewer tabs open, but yeah. So for the purposes of recording this video, I switched to Firefox. But I don't know if Firefox has this neat feature where I can right-click. Oh, screenshot node. Yes. Okay. Good. All right. That is exciting. I think that should be good. Let's see here. We click edit. So we can't edit the content from the front end like this. But if we go to the page, we do have all the fields here. Let's make sure that they're actually doing something. Yeah, they are doing something. For whatever reason, you're supposed to be able to, when this is enabled, you just click on something and then it takes you into the editor. But that's not happening for any of this stuff. So that might be something I need to ask Carl about. Because it's like mostly wired in that we can update the content and then it reflects on the front end. Very WordPress-like workflow here. But with EmDash, you are supposed to be able to click on stuff. Maybe I can show you. Can I just do that, or do I have to type /admin as well? Yeah, I do have to type /admin. That's an unfortunately long and annoying login URL. I wish EmDash would fix that. Is this even going to work? Wait, I actually connected Google to this one. I think I'd log in with my Google account, I believe. We'll find out. I'm doing this off screen. I think I've accidentally revealed my email address on camera enough times that I probably can just stop trying to hide it. All right, it worked. Cool. Yeah, I set up, for this site, I actually set up the Google Auth, so I don't have to use the dumb passkey nonsense. I can just log in with Google. Anywho, here's the site I built with EmDash, and you'll notice, like, if I click to enable edit, then I can like click on this and it takes me to the admin so I can update it. So, neat little feature. I don't know why it's not working with our FinPrep website. So I'll probably just have to ask Carl about that. How's he doing on this section here? He's just doing all the same stuff he did in the last one, grabbing stuff from the live site. He got the image, getting the CSS. That's why he's not using Tailwind or anything. He's actually just stealing CSS from the live site. And I built this with Etch and possibly automatic CSS. And I'm not a BEM master, but I try. And so you can see this is using somewhat of a BEM structure for CSS. And Carl's just stealing that, which is awesome. That's why he's pretty much nailing these layouts. All right, where are we at, Carl? Ready for the next one, he says. All right, let's refresh. Boom. I would say we need to give him a little bit of instruction regarding the container size, because this is a little squished and it should be wider. I don't want to spend too much time tweaking stuff right now. Like I said, I want to get the bulk of the content in, but you know, I kind of want to just see. I want to see him iterate and, you know, kind of get a little foreshadowing of what the process is going to be like later when I go through and try to tweak everything. Looks like it's just a max width issue. Oh, and he's going to go fix the services section, which, whatever. Yeah, so now everything matches. That was easy. That was easy. He even got these headings correct, which the first couple he did not. Yeah, he got these flipped around. So I'll fix that later. But yeah, we got another section in, man. And here it is. Where is it? Why FinPrep? Dude. Just to make sure. Just to make sure it's working. There we go. It is working. Everything's all wired up. Still, this isn't working. I don't think I want to tackle that yet. That feels like a kind of when I'm done with the homepage type task to tackle. I'm ready to move on to the next section, which is going to be a component, I believe. This is reused several times elsewhere on the website. So hopefully he can kind of understand what I'm trying to get at when I explain this to him. Okay, but here's what I'm wondering. The last component we made was the hero section. This section is reused on every page, but the content is different. Like I'll show you. So there we go. Same thing, right? Just different text, different image on every page. But this component is exactly the same on every page. However, I still want to be able to edit the content, you know, somewhere in the CMS if that's possible. For this one, I think the plan is to add a field to every page, and it pulls the data from the fields on that page. But this is going to be a little different. This should just live somewhere in the dashboard as a component, or I don't know, maybe this is what a collection is, or a section. Maybe that's what an EmDash section is. These things. This reusable content blocks you can insert into any content. This kind of feels like this is what a section should be. Hero banner. Yeah. I wonder if we should have made that a banner. Does their GitHub have like documentation? This is not right. EmDash. Is it EmDashCMS? Okay. We'll Google it. Oh, it's EmDashCMS? EmDash? Come on. Come on, guys. What are you doing? Anywho. Docs? Development. Okay. I don't know what any of this stuff means. Let's see, if we just go to the main, get started, upgrade your account. Full stack, blah, blah, blah. Deploy, no thank you. Why? How it works. Features. Okay. I'm worried that Carl's not really going to know what a section is in EmDash. Ah. We'll see. Okay, he sounds very confident, but he always sounds confident, so. And then I need to actually share the screenshot with him when he's ready. Hopefully he doesn't think the screenshot I just sent him is the next section. I think he's smart enough to realize that this is just the sections thing I was talking about. Okay, he's ready for the screenshot. Uh-oh. Don't. That's not the screenshot, Carl. Just ask me for it. Just ask me for the screenshot, Carl. So I think what I'm going to do is say, stop. Yeah, okay, and I will upload it. Here is the screenshot for the next section. And just to make sure he remembers. What did he call it? Get section. Okay. Handy little tool hitting /stop. It's like, hey, shut up for a second. I need to interrupt you and tell you something important. Otherwise, you can just sit there and wait, and he'll just do a bunch of stuff, and then you'll be like, okay, so I need you to undo all that stuff you just did. All right, perfect. You can see the section clearly, the chalkboard background. Oh, you can see that? Because you apparently didn't see that when you built that contact form, bruh. Okay, what's up? What else is he doing? He's creating a section in EmDash, structured data fields like we've been doing, blah, blah, blah. So it's on the front end, it's an Astro component, and then it's going to pull its data from this section that he's going to create, and then we'll be able to edit that stuff in the dashboard. And what I'm thinking is that, we edit it here, and then everywhere this component is being used, it should update everywhere. Again, it's the kind of thing that's like, this will make it easier for a human, but does the AI care that we're doing it properly? Yeah, probably not. But I still care for some reason. Where's it at, Carl? No CLI command for sections. Have to use the API. Okay. Whatever 3-letter acronym you need to use, buddy, just use it. Get her done. Uh-oh. Well, this is annoying. So they haven't added a CLI command for sections, so that's kind of frustrating. Poor Carl is struggling to do this. I wonder if I'm going to have to create the section manually. Okay, he claims it's in the database. I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it, Carl. He's doing stuff. He's working. All right, ready for the next section. Well, we'll see. So it looks good. However, yeah, there's no section. This is the dumbest sentence I've ever typed in my life. I'm not seeing the section in the section of the dashboard. Definitely in the DB. The admin UI is returning 401 when querying, meaning the admin panel requires you to be logged. I am logged in. Really, dude? What do you think I'm looking at? Admin is reading from a different database than the one I updated? Okay, now I have questions, Carl. I have questions. Let him answer that. I'm going to come back here and refresh. Got an error there briefly. Element type is invalid. Expected string. Blah, blah, blah. Let's copy this. Click hide error. This page is broken. This seems to be the equivalent of a critical error in WordPress. Yeah, I've been writing content to data.db, the wrong one this whole time. Why two databases? I wonder if that's also why the edit function wasn't working. The data I wrote directly either wasted work. But the CLI writes via blah blah, which goes to dev service. Everything we've pushed is correct and live. The CLI always used the right DB. Only my manual SQLite debugging writes hit the wrong file. Everything on the front end is pulling real data. We're fine. I love it. He says, not our code. Let me check if there's something wrong with our section. It is your code, fool, because it was working before you did stuff. He seems smart, though. He's comparing against the two default sections. The admin is compile bundle, can't execute about the error message, clear something. He wants me to do it manually. It's going to be disappointing. We've gotten this far. You need to create it manually. Shucks. All right, fine. Let's try it. So what did he say? I'm going to pull this Discord up on my phone. He said it's called Proven Results Create. Okay, I wonder. So I'm going to stop there and I'm going to say, okay, I created the section called Proven Results. I haven't done anything with it yet. Now that I've created it, are you able to edit it to work with our component? Hopefully I don't have to build the whole section out manually. And I'm out of coffee. This is sad. Okay, that's good at least. Okay. So we have a front end. Let's click edit. Okay, it's definitely not wired up though. Carl, did you write stuff to the wrong database again? I should be seeing, basically a field for all this. For this, for this, for this, for this, and a couple of image fields. Like everything in here should be a field in here. All come from the page fields. The section is only there as an editable description of the block for editors. But I don't... Maybe we were wrong about what sections are for. I mean, it literally says, right? It literally says reusable content blocks that I can insert into any content. Okay, that sounds exactly like what I'm looking for. Yeah. This section stores all the content, heading, subheading, both stat texts, and the component reads everything from the section. Yes, that is how it's supposed to work. The limitation is that sections only have portable text content, no separate structured fields. But we can work with that by using custom block types in the portable text. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to update the images in the component through the CMS. He's saying that they're going to have to store that as hard-coded fallbacks. Okay, front end still looks fine. How is it using this? Interesting. So it created blocks, and then it's somehow pulling that information by the numbers. I mean, it's working. I don't know how I would have set that up myself, but so the problem is you can't add like custom fields to a section, I guess. It seems silly. What is the point of that? So their default ones were a newsletter sign up. How am I supposed to use that? How is this helpful? Maybe they're planning on building this out to actually be useful. I don't know. Doesn't feel very useful right now. All right. Well, so something tells me we're not going to be able to. This is also a component. How are we going to do this properly? Let's see here. Okay, well, that's disappointing. The next section is also a component that will be used in many places throughout the website. This component is more complex as it will need to loop through our testimonials content type. It's a automatic slider or carousel, not sure the difference, that displays testimonials. I'm not sure it's worth even trying to create a section for this. You'll probably just have to build it all out and then literally just copy and paste it, I guess, wherever we need to use it. And it'll just be a static thing that can't be modified really through the CMS. See what his thoughts are on all that rambling. Wait a minute. He says there's no, in the admin, there's nothing called collection. I don't know what that means. Is that a content type? I haven't even shared a screenshot, bro. What do you? Yeah, I mean, he's right. Most of it will, editing this section is adding or removing testimonials, but the image we won't be able to like change this image in the dashboard anywhere. I kind of want to explore what he said earlier about trying to use a collection. I'm curious how he's going to do on this section since I didn't share a screenshot with him. He seems to just be pulling it from the live site. Yep, he figured out which image that is. Girl with books. That is not the right image. That is... What is the girl with books? Where is he finding that image? Is that what he thinks is girl with books? All right. What did you do? Yeah, he completely screwed that up, which I hadn't provided a screenshot. I like to try to shame the bot. Let him know that he's an idiot. Yes, you did. You did do that. All right. Here we go. Let's grab the section, a little screenshot node. Whoops. All right. See if you can actually pull it off this time. At least it built a slider. It doesn't work quite the same. This isn't right. Object. He got the name and their title, but he did not get any of the text. I wonder if did that all come in? Yeah, it all came in, so that shouldn't. Whoops. No. What did I just do? Whatever I just did, undo it, bro. Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem for him to pull that in. It's kind of weird that he didn't nail that right away. I'm going to fix this. And does this say that? Which one was that? Chris Robbins? Where is it? I can't. Yep, I saw it. It is messed up in that too. I'll have to go fix that on the live site. Got it. White background, blah, blah, blah. All right. He thinks he's got it. That was quick. Let's see how it looks. You failed. You completely. It's even worse. Let me make sure he didn't. Sometimes OpenClaw will randomly revert to my fallback agent. Oh no, he just opened Chrome. Okay, no, he did not do that. Let's see if it helps. Here is the HTML. Copy inner HTML? I don't know. What is inner versus outer HTML? In Chrome, you can just hit copy. Copy element. Let's see. Did we get this? Oh my word, dude. Can you let me see the text? Like for real? Just want to know if this section is in there. Okay, section is in there. Jeez Louise. Kind of disappointing how well he's done. And then how terribly he's done on this section. He's got this dark background on there too. Like what? Didn't he even say white background? Like what are you doing, Carl? Okay, white background. That's good. Just like that. All correct. Not even close, dude. All right. Okay. Come on, bro. Like, what is it doing? Like, nailed it, nailed it, nailed it, nailed it. Completely screwed it up. Like, why? I mean, first of all, like, can you not handle a 2-column grid? Testimonial on the left, image on the right. Like, that shouldn't be difficult for you. No, wrong button. I remember him struggling a little bit with this before because it's a content type. It's not the default poster page. But he did figure it out last time. So, oh, look at that. He had it for like a second. What's going on? It looked good for a split second. Dude. Look at that. It flashes. Gotta get to the bottom of this because it's weird. It's weird to just nail it 4 or 5 times in a row and then just be failing. Okay. He has a lot to say this time. I yelled at him. CSS is only a component. The issue is Astroscope CSS. The other sections work because their CSS is in index.astro block. Okay. Well, shouldn't. Okay. CSS is completely correct and the media query is there. The problem is something else. The global CSS. Let me verify. Now the CSS can't be stripped. Well, I mean, it looks good. It's even got. Wait. Does not have any text in there. Testimonials from parents and students. Where does it say that? Oh, it does say that. Okay. And then it just brings in the text, name, title. So it's not bringing in the text yet, but it's bringing in the name and the title. You know what I'm going to do? Because I'm a nice guy. I don't know if it's possible to like grab, well, where's the sources? Firefox doesn't have a sources tab? What the heck? Okay. That's odd. It's very odd. I was going to try to grab the JavaScript for the existing slider. But let's just see if we can just describe it. So it looks like he got whatever his issue was figured out. The CSS issue. I thought it had to be some weird technical issue because he knows how to make a freaking 2-column layout, right? Knowledge was not his problem. It was some sort of technical issue. He appears to have gotten sorted out. I don't think what he just said is true, because if I click on testimonials, there's the content. I think it has to do with, like, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. And I don't want to say slug, that's not the right word, but what he's looking for is different because this is basically a custom post type is what we would call it on WordPress. So he just needs to figure that out. It's need to fetch all. Now I have everything I need. Let me build the full slider. All right. Go to town, Carl. Okay. Carl. Carl. Come on, Carl. At least you got the content. I think. What is this? FinPrep will help your child. Whoa. He's working. He's working. Bro, is this not the same issue you just figured out? Okay, he seems maybe possibly stuck. Okay, I thought he got stuck there for a second. Did a little status check. I don't know why. Shut down 4322 and restart 4321. Not sure why you switched. He said he was restarting the server, and then he's like, "Oh, 4321 was still in use, so now on 43 like." I don't know. I don't like. He's restarted the server before. The old process. Okay, so shut it down, bruh. Like, why are we just randomly switching ports? Anywho, let's see if he actually fixed his issue. Okay, he claims we're back. All right, what do we got? Well, it's looking better. Do these work? Oh, okay. Let me not click. Let me not be impatient. Let's see if it. Okay. It's switching on its own. All the right text is showing. It's going too fast. Let's go with every 6 seconds instead. 4 seconds was too fast. Let's see if he knows what I'm talking about. I'm sure he will. Sometimes I forget to give proper context. Yep, he knew what I meant. Okay. I have questions, Carl. I need to upgrade Whisperflow for sure. After this video, I will be upgrading that. Okay, that actually all looks really good. I'm concerned, though. I don't understand why you had to use important. That's generally not good practice. Like, what is the issue here? Is the issue that maybe EmDash just doesn't work quite the same as what you're used to with regards to Astro. I mean, it's all just Astro, right? Astro is Astro. I am surprised that you would struggle to just build out elements and components and get the CSS to work. And I'm concerned that you have to use hacky solutions like important. And I just want to make sure that we're actually building this like a proper Astro website that is also hooked into and utilizing the EmDashCMS. I really should. I'm getting tired of not being able to use it. What's Carl have to say? You're right to flag it, blah, blah, blah. Important is a smell. Okay. The real issue was I was fighting myself, blah, blah, blah. Let me remove it. Yes, this is proper Astro. All right, let's see. All right. He didn't break anything. And it sounds like he got rid of the importance. No important in the actual CSS. It's clean. The browser must have been caching the old style sheet. The source is correct, blah, blah, blah. No hacks, no important. Okay, cool. And everything still looks good. Sliders working? Sliders working. Is this section responsive? Yes, it is. All right. Okay, is that the last section? Yep, and then there's header and footer. That's going to be a whole thing. Okay. So, I think I will include creating the header and footer in this video. And then I think I'll stop there. I might do more of this website and other videos, but I think we'll get the homepage and the header footer taken care of in this video. We've learned a lot. There's been some struggles, and the people who are very anti-AI will love to pick this video apart and point out all the horrible, awful things AI did, while ignoring the fact that we just built this entire website, and I didn't really need to know too much of what I was doing. I shared screenshots, and I was like, hey, build this, and then it did it. Honestly, most of the struggles were with not fully understanding how EmDash works. The sections thing was a little frustrating that didn't really work out super well. I might investigate that more in their Discord, see if I can figure out what the actual purpose of those is supposed to be. But I mean, for the most part, man, we're killing it. This is almost a one-to-one copy with minor tweaks that need to be done here and there. And it's all wired into the CMS, so I can go over here to, yes, refresh after all the stuff he did. We can go to pages, we can go to home, just like WordPress. This is a little different from WordPress. With WordPress, if you're using the block editor, you usually have sort of a kind of close representation of what the website will actually look like. Not really, but closer than this. This is literally just a list of fields. But you're supposed to be able to mitigate that by using this edit feature, which is something we'll need to investigate. So you should be able to look at the actual front end of the website. And then if you want to edit this title, you just click on it. And then that's supposed to take you in here to where you need to go to edit it. It's not working for whatever reason. On this website, it's working on my other website. So clearly it's just something Carl needs to do. Speaking of Carl, make sure he updates his skill with anything he's learned, especially with this CSS stuff we struggled with there for a minute. But yeah, we're moving right along. So I think we'll go ahead and start trying to work on this header. The last time I tried to do this video, we did successfully build a header. So I remember that going fairly well. So I'm not too worried. It is a little weird managing the menu. If we go to menus, we have a primary navigation. which we can edit, and this is just the default, so we'll delete this. But there's no way to like build, like in WordPress, you can build your menu and you can build the submenus. So you like drag and drop. So if you drag an item, like, and you pull it over a little bit, indent it, it'll become a sub menu item underneath that parent menu item, right? And that's how you kind of build your menus in WordPress. And then you just have to style them. With this, it's different. With this, you're literally just creating a list of menu items. And there's no way to designate whether, you know, this is supposed to be a submenu item underneath this or not. It's just all your menu items are in a list. And then you have to build out, you know, using Astro or whatever, the front end. You have to build out the way you want your menu to look. And it works by, if I remember correctly, there's entries in the database. So if there's a column or table or whatever for each menu item called like parent. If you don't put a parent menu item in there, then it treats that menu item as a parent. So if you leave that field blank, it will be a parent menu item. And then if you want to add a menu item underneath another menu item, you just have to enter that parent. So let's say I wanted to put posts underneath about. In the posts table in the database, in the parent column, row, whatever, you would add about, and that would say that the parent element or parent item for posts is about, and then it will show up underneath about as a submenu item. So it's a little weird and different, and it's not really a big deal if you're doing it with AI like I'm doing it. But if you were doing all this manually, it would be, I think, kind of a pain to do it, because you can't do it here. So you would have to literally be doing like there should be a field here for parent. If that's how they want to do it, where there's a database entry and that's how you organize stuff, there should be a field here where I can say, this is the parent of this item. But since it's not there, I'm guessing if I was doing this manually, I would have to literally go into the database and update those tables myself, which is weird and not how I would want to ever do anything ever. So I digress. He's ready for the next section. We're going to build a header. What else do I need, right? I give him the screenshot. He goes and gets what he needs. I think we're good. Let me grab a screenshot of the header. Screenshot node. Upload. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. Go to town, Carl. Okay. It thinks it's done. Let's see. What does that have to say? Menu items are in. Adding it to based Astro. So it's building up the theme. Logo. Blah, blah, blah. All right. He thinks it's done. All right. Well, we got pages in our primary navigation. So that's cool. And it looks like it just modified the existing primary navigation. What does the front end look like? Holy crap. It's almost there. It got the background in there. It got all this correct. Looks like it could use a little bit more spacing maybe. But then of course we don't have the menu in there. This is probably an easy fix because the menu exists. We just saw it. All the items exist. He's just not rendering it for some reason. You forgot one very important part of the header, Carl. This website's not very accessible, Carl. Not even accessible to people who can see perfectly. I like how he says, we stored. Bro, I didn't do anything. This was all you. You stored it. Did he update his skill earlier? Okay, that's good to know for him. Kill by port. Not the process name. Sections versus collections. That's, I want to investigate that more later. Find out what a collection is. I've heard that term used before. I think it's like more of a Astro thing. I think Sanity has collections, actually. Maybe that's where I've seen that word before. I doubt the dev server needs to be restarted, bro. I think you just need to do it right. Probably get menu isn't right. It's probably something else. I don't really know what a seed.json is. It's one thing that if I was going to be trying to learn how Astro works, this seems has come up many times. I feel like that's something I should probably look into. I want to interrupt him and be like, are you sure get menu is correct? Like what? Okay. Looks like he's done. He did a bunch of stuff, said a bunch of stuff. I don't understand it. Here it is if you guys want to read it. But hey, that's a menu. Is there a mobile menu though? Hey, there's a mobile menu. Look at that. Look at that. None of these pages exist yet. Actually, the pages do exist. So I wonder why. What happens if I view a page? Like, what did I just try clicking about? Ah, it structures pages. Is that a setting? Can we change that? Social links, SEO. Redirects? It wouldn't be under there, would it? No. Interesting. I'm certain Carl could fix that, but I'm wondering how we're supposed to fix that without Carl. Let's see if Carl can just go ahead and fix that permalink for us. Sure he can. It's probably just a... Well, I don't know. Carl's still thinking. Okay. There's a little more involved there than I thought. But he claims to have fixed it. There we go. About. There's all the pages. It's not displaying any of the content. Oh yeah, this is just an anchor link. So we need to fix that. But the page routing is working, so yeah, man. You know, I mean, the footer is going to be easy. Let's just do it. Let's do the footer real quick. And then we'll call this video donezo. Let's go, Carl. Last thing for the day, then you can rest. Okay, that was a lot of work. Let's see if it turned out okay. Not bad. Here's the real version. Here's the new version. I think we could increase the font size with pretty much everything. Maybe not everything, but I noticed some things. Like, I think this is too small. Yeah. Yeah. But, man, again, for the most part, we're just nailing it here. Need to get this blog section out of here. But yeah, that's it. We're done with the homepage minus going through and doing minor tweaks. One real quick thing to tell Carl. Yeah, that's it for this video. I think we did a lot. We got the whole homepage done. As well as a header and a footer and a menu. And so the contact form wouldn't work probably. I would need to hook up an SMTP service like Brevo or something, which is easy. I did that on cedarrapidswebdesign.com, which is built with EmDash. I just used my existing Brevo information because I was already using Brevo on the old cedarrapidswebdesign.com. So it was just a matter of giving Carl my Brevo API key and saying, go to town. But yeah, can I summarize this video? This video has taken me 2 days to record. What did we learn? The import process was okay, although I'm thinking it was maybe largely a waste of time because it seems like we basically just rebuilt the whole homepage anyways, so I don't think we really used the content. Yeah, I think importing the testimonials helped. We didn't have to mess with that, so we were able to build that slider on the homepage and just pull in the data. So maybe, you know, if I was going to do this all over again, I don't know if I would import the pages. I think I would probably just import the custom post types. Maybe the posts themselves. Oh, he's breaking stuff. Yeah. But either way, it's not like it was really hurt anything to do the import. But yeah, I was able to do everything with AI minus I manually created that section, and I'm still not sure that was really worth it. It did allow us to edit this and this and this and this, but these images are basically just hard-coded, so if I wanted to change those out, I would have to tell Carl to do it. I wouldn't be able to change these images out in the dashboard. What else did we learn? Permalinks, we have no control over permalinks in the dashboard. I had to tell Carl to fix that for us. Otherwise, I mean, I think it went fairly well. There were some times where my AI was slowing down a lot and made things frustrating, and my computer kept filling up, and I had to keep stopping and restarting because of that. So for me, it felt kind of stressful, but hopefully for you watching the video, when I edit all that crap out, it won't be stressful, and you'll be able to just watch me build a site with AI, and maybe you'll learn something too about how EmDash works. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are in the comments about this whole process. What do you think of this dashboard? I know we didn't look at the dashboard much because Carl was doing all the work and we were trying to avoid using the dashboard, but you know, a lot of people have complained about it because it looks like WordPress, as if that's like a bad thing, you know? If it works, it works. Who cares? If it looks like something else, it also works. Yeah, if you have any ideas of how I could have maybe improved my workflow doing this, I think one of the biggest limitations was Carl not always knowing how EmDash worked, and the skill that came with the project was very disappointing. There's very little data actually in that skill. So Carl's kind of building his own skill. So I think if we did this again on another project, it would go smoother because of the things that we're putting in our custom EmDash skill. But yeah, all right, that's it, I think. Guys, thanks for sticking with it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.